host, me, Alex Springluck, coming to you live from New York City, bitches. Hi, welcome to Morning After. Everybody go around and say hello and who you are, where you're calling in from, and if you've ever been to New Jersey before. I have. So, Russ?
Hi, I'm Russ White. I'm the co-founder, co-producer of Q Life Media, and I have been to Jersey.
I'm sorry.
3 times.
3 times? My
3
goodness.
times.
Couldn't get enough.
One just across the way, and then one deeper into the.
You were deep inside Jersey, is what
I was deep inside Jersey.
Gotcha. Okay, Michael.
Hi, I'm Michael Barbieri, dining and entertainment writer, and I'm calling in from New York City. And yes, as a matter of fact, I used to live in New Jersey. I lived in Cliffside Park for many years.
Come on, Jersey. Well, welcome to New York. And Brenton / Aaliyah Sky. Hello, hello.
Hello, my name is Britton / Aaliyah. I'm fashion and costume designer and drag queen, although I'm not in drag today. And I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I have never been to New Jersey. I thought about moving to New Jersey once, and then I came to my senses.
Think again.
Oh.
It's not bad. We love New Jersey. Come on, it's fine. Chris, welcome back.
Hi guys. I'm Christopher Henry. I'm here with my dog Riley. I was sick last week. I am an actor, comic, singer, calling in from Boston, Massachusetts, and I actually also lived in Jersey for a while. I put the hoe in Hoboken for a while there. And, I'm still waiting for the crabs to go away. Love you, Jersey.
The Jersey Shore has good crabs, I will say. And last but not least, Walter.
Hello, everyone. It's the dreaded and feared Walter Kurtz coming to you live from Donkey Mirror, home of the Chandelier. Yeah, I've been to New Jersey. Let's move on.
Well, yeah, it's not. I've had a good time. Never been to the Jersey Shore though. But let's just dive right in. We had Jersey Justice this week. Okay, Kat, get out of the way. Damn it. She really wants to be on camera this week. So Valentina walks in with this cowboy. She's like trying to feature her boy looks throughout now. What do we all think about that? Our resident fashionista Brenton / Aaliyah, what do you think about like Valentina trying to steal a little spotlight there?
I don't know. I think it's cute. I think it's clever. No one else has done it, and at least she doesn't look busted every week. I mean, at least she looks good every week. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's cute. I think it's fun.
Okay, Walter, what do you think?
Who cares? I mean, I think she's the only one that really cares. I mean, it's not offensive.
You saw when she walked in, all the other queens were eye rolling. So it's like they're like, "What are you doing, bitch?" Anyway, I just like that stood out to me as a little weird. Hi, puppy. Okay, so Jersey Justice. Did we like the challenge? Did we hate it? I kind of liked that we got like a live courtroom scene and framing it with Michelle. That was kind of fun, I think. Michael, what did you think of the challenge this week?
I liked the challenge. I thought it was something different. Again, at least it wasn't another damn musical with terrible songs. And I thought it was cute. I don't know if they really should have been left on their own to improvise, because I think it left some very dead moments. But on the whole, I think it was fun. It was fun
on the whole, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Preparation H feels good on the whole.
On the whole. Yeah, I would agree. I would say that the real challenge of this was the improv, and it kind of shows you which queens can, which queens can't. And Christopher, as like a comedian, and I'm sure you have like some improv training, how hard is it to just kind of like stay in the moment and like to do that kind of a challenge?
Well, it's tough, but I mean, it's made easier, like with any type of acting, if you do your preparation ahead of time, and then you allow yourself to kind of just be whatever character you're doing and just kind of react instinctively in those moments. I mean, improv is very heavy about that. It's, you know, it's not simply just whose line is it anyway games. It's just, you know, go in with the character, and then from that point, you have to be reacting as that person. I think some of them, and we saw that, did a pretty good job of that, of establishing a character ahead of time with that. Even, you know, Valentina, who was worried about that, I wasn't worried about her going in, because from what I saw in the Snatch Game last week, she's very good about preparing a character ahead of time. She herself is a character. So that's the thing. I think the people who struggled the most were the ones who didn't really go in with any preparation. They just thought they were going to do this Jersey thing and wing it. And I'm always against like completely winging anything. Always do some preparation for any kind of comedy challenge.
Well, even like it looked like they had these folders that said this is your character, this, and they had like attributes of their characters. So if you don't like at least build on that and work on that and rehearse that, then you go in there kind of blind in a way, and you don't know what the other person is going to say. You don't know how they're going to respond. Yeah. And so it's just easier if you kind of like all get together and be like, oh, if I talk like this, then maybe you'll respond this way. So it was tough, but with a lot of preparation. Some people didn't take that preparation. Getting to the challenge itself, I thought the strongest were probably Manila and Naomi. Even though I feel like Naomi's kind of like fading to the background at this point for me, I really thought they came out strong, and both of them had a point of view. Both of them responded really well. A second place for me would be Valentina, although I'm kind of getting sick of her funny face being, all she does is she like kind of opens her mouth and opens her eyes really big, and that's kind of her face for everybody, even Eartha Kitt and Snooki. I was like, same face. But who did you think stood out for you in a good or a bad way? Russ, please.
I think Manila stood out in a very good way. I think she was really, really good. The hair was just hysterical. Their whole storyline was hysterical.
It was.
Stood out in a bad way, Latrice.
Poor Latrice.
Yeah, poor Latrice.
I think, especially with last week and this week, I think Latrice's problem might be that like she wasn't. What was her season 4?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and All Stars.
It's just like Manila said. It's like the drag has its game so much, and I don't know if she was prepared for that. I think she came in thinking she's going to do her own thing, or the thing she always does, and she's thrown all these challenges that aren't really up her alley, and that's why she's faltering. Walter, what do you think about the challenge? Tops, lows, tops, bottoms?
Yeah, a lot of people say that it's one of the best episodes. I thought it was kind of bad for me. I thought Manila did great, but after that, I had no idea who was the tops or the bottoms. I mean, clearly, Latrice and Monet had problems, but it was like, Valentina, are they going to hate Valentina? And then Monique winning kind of came out of left field for me. I thought, is she going to be in the bottom? It wasn't a good challenge for those girls because you've got to be clever and you've got to be funny. And on an aside, as for improvisation, I've seen you improv, Alex. You're very, very good at it.
Walter, we're having a little trouble hearing you, darling. If you can speak up.
I wasn't crazy about it.
Okay, we're losing Walter a little bit.
What was the last thing you heard? Because you froze up.
Okay, we heard a little bit about like how you didn't know if they were going to hate or love Valentina. Chris, what do you think? Tops, bottoms, standouts?
Yeah, I thought, I think I concur with everybody when it comes to Latrice. And, you know, there was a part of me that found it a little bit surprising because she gave that incredible, memorable, get those nuts out of my face from back in season 4.
But mingle me this about that. Was that scripted or was that improv?
That was scripted, and that's the thing. I think when it comes to improv, as we've seen with season 4 Snatch Game, as we saw with this past Snatch Game, Latrice gets very flustered. She seems to be really bothered by when other people are acting crazy over her. And like a part of me would just like to take her and be like, listen, girl, getting angry about stuff like that is like being on The View and getting angry because you're being talked over. It's going to happen. You've just got to you've got to be louder and crazy. Like you have to kind of step it up.
She doesn't know how to grab her moment.
She doesn't. And I mean, it's, you know, like they said last night, she's beloved. She's Miss Congeniality. She's a lovely person. I met her when I worked at Hamburger Mary's. Latrice is amazing. But like we said, this is All Stars. This isn't just who's good. This is the best of the best. And out of everybody who is there, she deserved, you know, she floundered in the challenge. It wasn't her challenge. Strongest wise, yeah, Monique was great. Manila is a powerhouse when it comes to comedy. So, yeah, those are the people who I picked. I wasn't surprised by who was in the top.
Yeah, I thought they might throw Valentina a bone and put her in the top, but I think that Monique and Manila were just too strong, and they just overshadowed her a little bit. But
I was surprised that Trinity froze up a bit.
Yeah, I think after she faltered on her name, that kind of just took her down a little bit.
Yeah, because she has proven herself to be a comedy queen, and she kind of failed, I think, this time.
But that's, again, she's a comedy queen when scripted, except for when she's doing like a character that she's already like been preparing, like Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, it was just very one note.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, so then we're done with the challenge, and then we get to the runway. I really, like, as much as I'm getting sick of the brown cow, I thought Monique's was the best suited for the swerves and curves. I was like,
that was a drag outfit.
That's what I wanted out of that challenge. I wanted big hips. I wanted, like, if it's swerves and curves, give us all the curves. Brent and Aaliyah, did you have a top, I also like Trinity's look. What were your favorite choices of the runway?
I would say Monique definitely like hit the nail on the head with that particular runway. I think part of the issue too with a lot of the skinnier girls too, like Naomi, I mean, for them, they are padded, to the gods, but I think it doesn't really translate as being overly padded because they are such small boys to begin with. So I definitely think Monique did like top notch. Valentina's, I'm gonna throw it out there, I hated her look. I get what she was going for, but it just was not. I'm like really surprised that she didn't get red to fill for her look.
She wasn't padded.
I mean, she had pads. I mean, she had her hip pads.
But not to the gods.
No, not at all. I mean, if she was going to go that route, I mean, she should have came out with an entire, like, lazy boy couch, like, just strapped to her back.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that was just, like, an outfit she had that she didn't really know how to fit it in anywhere, so she decided to use it for this.
But she wanted to wear it, god damn it.
Yeah. This is the second week in a row she has not met the brief. Last week was the boots thing. She was not wearing boots. This week, she wanted to be artsy-fartsy with that thing. And Valentina's doing her own thing, and I think that's going to end up biting her in the ass.
I agree. I think maybe next week, honestly, it might bite her in the ass. Chris, did you have a top or bottom of the runway?
I agree with everybody, although, Trinity's look actually really stood out to me too. I loved what she did with her hair. I saw Alaska do that on another YouTube show called Hey Queen. She pulled that kind of like tapered, like I'm not an expert on this. Brenton or Alex, you could probably correct me, but that kind of big look, it's very
it's almost like ironed.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It's sculpture.
Valentina, I mean, listen, Valentina is because I go back and forth with how I feel about her. But she's doing her. I mean, ultimately, I think she's giving us theater for this show. I mean, she knows what her Valentina character is, and she is playing that on a scale of 1 to 10 to an 11. And
that's why I think she's featuring the boy looks in a way. She's like, I'm just gonna be me, and I'm gonna show it all off, and it's like cool and everything. I'm not personally digging it that much, but go ahead and you continue.
It's a lot. I can take it a lot more than I could take Gia, at least. I mean, that just that turned me off in a bit. That kind of theater turns me off. Mm-hmm. This one, I can kind of take it a bit more because she's also competent for the most part in the challenges. And she's interesting. I mean, yes, she's beautiful, but I find Valentina very, very interesting. Even when she's talking to Trinity saying, "Oh, I'll send your ass home." And I was like, oh okay, girl. All right.
She's making good TV. Okay, When it gets down to, we had our top two, which I think we all agree were well warranted, and our bottom two, which I think we agree on as well. Who would you eliminate between Monet and Latrice? They both haven't been doing that great. Latrice obviously faltered last week, but so did Monet, and Monet's been giving us the same runway looks. Does being a beloved character would it factor into your choices whatsoever when it comes to fan backlash maybe? How would you make that decision if you had to send Latrice or Monet home, Walter?
Latrice, it was the right decision that was made. At this, Latrice is kind of an iconic queen from that show and all of that, but you got to be able to do the job. And she wasn't doing the job. And so if you're not doing the job, you go home. I mean, seriously, is there anything that she has done that has blown you away since she's been on the show? And the answer is no. And the other thing was in her little talking head segment where she pronounced Ellen-like that she is the most beloved queen who's ever been on the show. It's like, well, you know, I'll be the judge of that, and everybody else will be the judge of that. And
also, you can be a beloved queen or the most beloved queen and still falter on the challenges. So that's,
yeah, but I'm wondering if that sense of entitlement that she's so professional wasn't spilling over into the workroom, and
well, I think it kind of
why Monique didn't have a hard time sending Latrice home. I think
it kind of spilled over when
inquiring minds would like to know.
Pre-runway when they were in the workroom, and she was like, I think I did amazing, and it's like, maybe you have a little bit higher of opinion of yourself than everybody else.
Yeah, milk
syndrome.
Yeah, the little milk syndrome right there. I think we got it. I'm lactose intolerant.
But Alex, for me, this is the first time I'm seeing Latrice, and so I've seen enough of Monet, and I would not have minded to see a little bit more of Latrice, but I get the community sense around how so many people do adore Latrice, and she has probably peaked. I don't see her winning. I wouldn't have seen her winning, but I would like to see maybe one or two more episodes with her, because I don't see either of them taking it this to All Stars.
Yeah, Michael, between Monet and Latrice, who would you eliminate, and why?
I think I would have gone the same route. I think I would have eliminated Latrice because being beloved is wonderful, but it's not enough. The challenges aren't about being loved. They're about being funny and being talented, and she wasn't showing it. She is talented at what she does, but she didn't show it in that particular challenge or in Snatch Game.
Yeah, kind of anything else. Breton / Aaliyah, who would you have eliminated?
I mean, I have to agree. I think it's pretty obvious for everybody here that it played out the way it really should have. Even though I was really rooting for Latrice, I think because the last 2 weeks she's missed her moment. She had opportunity to stand out and shine, and she, missed it. Unfortunately, this week in the challenge, because Monique and those three girls were all in the same group together, I think she just let them run over her, and I think she kind of faded around into the background. And as much as I would have loved to see her, I think Manila, out of the two girls that they pulled from previous seasons, farther back, Manila's there obviously to slay and to stay. So I think they made the right choice, but I personally don't think that Monet's far behind, because I don't think she's stepped it up as much either. So in my opinion, I think she'll probably be the next to go, if not the next or the one after.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Although next week is a comedy challenge, and Monet could excel at that. So you never know.
But there's one issue that Latrice and Monet to a certain extent, and a few of the others, is they don't realize that what they're doing really isn't particularly funny. So there is that's going to be a problem for them, because if they think just whatever that they're doing is amazing, like milk, you're not going to be refining what you're doing at all, because you just think everything you do is funny. And I think that's part of the problem that Monet's got at the moment. She's a great performer. Everybody likes her, but I don't think she's particularly good at self-criticism.
That could be true. And if you already think you're doing well, there's going to be no drive to improve upon it, and therefore you'll just stay at the same level. Chris, did you give us an opinion between Monet and Latrice?
Yeah, so I think you raised an interesting point, Alex, when it talks in terms of sending somebody home, by what measure, by what criteria do you do it by? A lot of times you look, how have they performed over the course of the whole competition consistently? How do they perform in that individual challenge? And I think you kind of said it when you said both Monet and Latrice have been performing consistently at the same level. Yeah. So then what do we do? Then we look at the individual challenge. Individual challenge, both were poor. who was the poorest. Latrice was the poorest. It wasn't like what she did was horrible. I mean, it wasn't like a train wreck, but compared to where everybody else was, we have Manila way up here, and then staggering down. This is where Latrice fell. And I mean, that's the standard by which you have to send people home. You know, the beloved factor, sure, will it piss some people off on Reddit? Yeah, but I mean, like, you wink or like fart wrong on this show and you piss people off on Reddit. I mean, you can't really go by that. So I think by that measurement, by that standard, the right decision was made. Latrice will be just fine. She has been on this show so many times. I think the only person who's been on it more is Pork Chop, and I guess now Stacey Lane Matthews. She's there all the time now. But yeah, she's going to be just fine, as all of them will. And I think
I don't even think Stacey Lane Matthews was actually in the room. I believe that was like a cutaway they had. Like, there's like, okay, react like this now. Okay, react like this now. I don't think she was in the courtroom. We never saw a full shot of her being in that courtroom. Okay, can we talk a little bit about Valentina's outburst during like the backstage after the tops and bottoms? Why did she do that? Is it for camera time? Is it just because she's doing the Valentina show? This is making me like you less, Valentina. I did like you, and now you're going like this.
Yeah.
Michael, what do you think about that?
She was reverting to Gia Gunland.
Mm-hmm.
She was just doing it for camera time. It was inappropriate. It came out of left field, as Chris said. It was just wrong. She should never have done that. That made me like her a lot less.
If anything, she might have been doing it to alleviate some of the tension in the room, but at the same time, it's like, this is not your moment. It's between the top and the bottom girls right now. Thank you for interjecting, but girl, bye. Okay, so also, the Tina lip sync. Also, they're dressing for the lip sync now, you guys. Like, have we noticed that? When I saw them both approaching their boxes, I'm like, oh, I guess it's a Tina Turner song. Well, we've had this before. Like, say it's a heavy-set black queen against a skinny white queen, both singing "And I'm Telling You." Who do we think's gonna win? So when I saw the two of them pitted next to each other, I was like, yeah, Manila's a good lip syncer, but if this is a Tina song, I feel like it's just gonna go Monique's way. Do you think that's always going to be the case, or does it take just like a stellar lip sync to change your mind? What do you think about that, Russ?
I think, I don't know, it's...
Come on, Trinity.
She was dressed for Tina. She was dressed for Tina. It's unfair.
It seems a little lopsided. Brenton, what do you think that?
I don't know. I mean, Crow as an entertainer, I've had my shares where I've been in rooms where I've been told I can't perform this song because I'm not that color. I don't have that look. You know, like in East Texas, I dealt with it all the time where they're like, I would have black queens that say, you can't do this song and you can't do that. That's our song. And to me, it doesn't matter. What you do is entertain. And if you go out and you wear the song out and you entertain for that song, then you're doing a good job. So to me, I think it doesn't hold that much water. I mean, look-wise, yeah, but I mean, if you go out there and slay it, then...
I think that's different, though. That's different. You're being told that you can't because it's cultural appropriation. This is a competition where I think it has an unfair advantage in certain cases.
Yeah, but flip the role. Flip the role and say they didn't do a Tina song. Say they did a Britney song. Does that
That's
mean
what I'm saying. Then that person might have an unfair advantage as well.
Yeah.
That she wouldn't have done as well. I think it's really about how you interpret the song and how you portray the performance, and I think that's what matters the most.
But this comes up every season for us, and so we see a pattern of it. And is it that big of a deal, or is it something that can shift the dynamic?
Well, also, when we think about it, it's just luck of the draw. Like, we don't know who's going to be in the bottom two and competing in this song. Yeah. So it could have been like any combination of people. I just think that when it happens, there might be a lopsided view. I think that's what I'm saying. Okay, now
having said all that, I think Manila could have won the lip sync because she's just very good at lip syncing. I don't think it really was a race thing, you know, a cultural appropriation thing. I think she could have. I think it's just that in this particular case, she was going the same route that she did with the Whitney Houston song. She was doing it, she was trying to be very effortless and very natural, whereas Monique just kicked ass.
Yeah, she's much higher energy, like just really like all over the stage. She took your eye wherever you looked.
And it broke your theory on whoever goes back on the runway.
Okay, well now that Latrice is gone, because I know she's been on a couple of our top fours. Who do we
wait! I'm gonna make one observation.
Sure.
Keep in mind that they are told before they show up or when they show up what the songs are that they have to lip sync to. I don't think they're told what order, because what are the chances that the week that the producers chose an Ariana Grande song would be the same week that Valentina was in the bottom two? I mean, I'm sorry, not in the bottom two, but would have to lip sync for her legacy. I mean, what are the Vegas odds on that, please? So I think putting their thumb on the performances and how things turn out in that regard.
So you're, so that's that's a theory of like producing, editing, like basically like these two are on the bottom. Okay, give them this song because we want this girl to stay.
You mean this isn't all real?
Well, okay. Let's talk top four now that Latrice is gone. I think Trinity Valentina. I think Monique's gonna be up there, you guys. She's slaying it, and I'm not sure who the fourth's gonna be. Chris, who do you think top four?
I hate to disagree with you, but oh well. I would pick Trinity, Valentina. I think she'll probably go to top four. Naomi, and who else was it? Trinity, Valentina, Naomi, and Manila.
Manila would be my fourth as well.
Yeah, I think Naomi's gonna be the dark horse. She's gonna be she's consistent, at least. She hasn't done anything.
Consistent but safe, you guys. Like, she's consistent but safe. Walter, top four.
Valentina, Trinity. I think Manila is now moving into the front position, in my opinion. And as for the fourth one, I haven't a clue.
No fourth for you. Okay, Michael.
Yeah, but my money's on Manila at the moment.
Manila's, yeah, she's slaying so far. Michael.
Yeah.
Manila, Trinity, Valentina, with maybe Monique as a dark horse.
Yeah, she's doing really well, aside from some of her runway looks, which I'm not pleased about. Russ?
Trinity, Manila. I'm just going to stick with top two.
Trinity and Manila, there you go. And Brett and Aaliyah.
I think we're all like inconsistency here. Like, I think Trinity, I think Manila for sure. She's going to climb up there. I'm actually going to split it between Monique and Naomi. I think Naomi, like, she is silent, but that's what she did on her season too. She didn't win a whole lot of challenges. She coasted all the way to the very, very end.
Yeah.
You know, so I think she'll stick around. And I'm honestly, Valentina's kind of up in the air for me right now.
I think Valentina could tumble next week because it's a roast challenge. I don't know if that's her thing. So I feel like she could be in the bottom again next week. So, but you never know. And that's like I was saying before, like Monet could win next week because it's a roast challenge. So even though she's been in the bottom a couple times, still anyone's game at this point, kids. Well, aside from
can I put Elton John in the top four somewhere?
Elton John.
You can't be a knight and a queen. You can't be a knight and a queen. I'm sorry.
I mean, I am. If you can see right there, I have.
Oh Lord.
She's a little Elton fan.
I'm a big Elton John fan, so I've got his platform shoes and everything. So yeah, I want him in the top four.
Maybe he'll be a judge for the top four. We don't know. All right, kids. Well, All Stars rules are suspended next week, so it could get kind of crazy. Do you think it's just going to be traditional rules then, and you have to lip sync for your life? Yeah.
I think they'll save two.
Yeah.
Or eliminate two.
Or eliminate two?
Save or eliminate two. That they do that once per season. Like, today we're keeping both of you. Like, there's always one of those.
Or if they eliminate 2, then that gives them room to bring someone back too. So we could have that. Although we still this is only a 10-week show, so time is.
Yeah, are we far enough in for them to bring someone back yet?
I think we're about halfway, aren't we? Are there only 6 left?
Oh God, what if it's Gia? Oh God.
God, if it's Gia, I would slap the shit out of them. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me on The Morning After this week. Come back every week and hear our critiques of our favorite show, RuPaul's Drag Race. Until next week, kids, everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.